Hey everybody, it's Tim with the Bulwark, and Joe Biden's re-election campaign is out with a new daisy cutter of an ad that defines the race as they see it between the president and former President Donald Trump. I want us to, step back here and look at this together because I think this ad is very important for a couple reasons. One, it shows the disparity right now that the Biden campaign has a lot more resources than the Trump campaign, in part because Trump is redirecting much of his resources into his various legal troubles. But two, this is a 60-second ad. It's more time than people usually have in TV ads, and it has given the Biden campaign an opportunity to really signal like what they see as the key issues, as the key differences are in this campaign. And I think they do a pretty effective job of laying out a contrast that might appeal to kind of the remaining undecided voters out there as we look ahead to the fall election. So let's watch the ad together, and then I'll be back on the other side.
Look, I'm not a young guy. That's no secret. But here's the deal. I understand how to get things done for the American people. I led the country through the COVID crisis. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world. I passed a law that lowers prescription drug prices, caps insulin at $35 a month for seniors. For 4 years, Donald Trump tried to pass an infrastructure law, and he failed. I got it done. Now we're rebuilding America. I passed the biggest law in history to combat climate change because our future depends on it. Donald Trump took away the freedom of women to choose. I'm determined to make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. Donald Trump believes the job of the president is to take care of Donald Trump. I believe the job of the president is to fight for you, the American people, and that's what I'm doing. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Can we do one more take?
Look, I'm very young, energetic, and handsome. What the hell am I doing this for?
So right off the top, he addresses the age issue. This is a thing. It is a thing. I know that some of the Biden fans don't like to hear it, but time and again in Bulwark focus groups, you hear from undecided voters they're concerned about the age. So what does he do? He takes it head on right away, says that he might be old, he understands how to get things done, and then he gives a specific example of that as you get into the ad with the infrastructure bill. Trump failed, I did it. I mean, Infrastructure Week, of all of the kind of nerdy policy issues in DC, infrastructure has been kind of the one that broke through just because of the comedy of every week the Trump White House saying it was Infrastructure Week and then them never actually doing it. This is also something that you can see the tangible results in a lot of communities already, and you're going to see Secretary Pete and Biden out on the campaign trail and Kamala and everybody else talking about specific examples of infrastructure fixes, infrastructure improvements that are happening all across America, red America for sure as well, also in swing districts, etc. So then the very end of the ad, he comes back to the age issue. You get a bonus 4-second little fake outtake there where he makes a little joke, not hilarious, not Saturday Night Live level humor. He's not Michael Che out there, but again, the self-deprecating, taking the age issue head on is the right way to do this. It's not to pretend like it doesn't exist. Now we get into the substantive issues. Right off the top, COVID recovery. Biden needs to kind of frame this economic situation as COVID happened under Trump, he mismanaged it, now we're recovering. That is a much better narrative frame than what Trump is trying to do, right? Which is kind of ignore COVID, whatever, that was a black swan, and remember how great the economy was before COVID. So those are the competing economy narratives. Biden lays that out clearly, direct to camera in this ad. Next, prescription drug prices down. Again, this is kind of a subtle reference to inflation also, that he is capping prescription drug prices, so he's helping people in their pocketbooks. It's a message to seniors, and I think that this is, a lot of people don't really recognize this because stereotypically older people have been conservative, younger people liberal. Biden does pretty well among seniors, among the oldest voters, at least against a baseline of what you'd expect a Democrat to do. He's doing less well kind of in the Gen X crowd. I'm looking at you, Gen X. And so he wants to continue to press that advantage, talking about prescription drug prices being capped by Biden. This is it's a populist type issue that Trump likes to talk about, how he's, against the drug companies and against, whatever, big pharma and the deep state, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't actually do anything similar to infrastructure. Biden did. A good contrast. Then you hit some messages for progressives, talks about climate, talks about abortion protection. Now, obviously, the latter issue doesn't just affect progressives, but I think that is how he's speaking to. There's a little bit of a depressed base on the left. Wants to remotivate them. There are going to be ways to remotivate them by scaring them about the threat of Trump. I think we'll obviously see those ads coming, but this is the proactive case made to the progressive base, talking about tangible action on climate that has happened through the IRA, and talking about how he wants to recodify abortion rights in this country. So lastly, I think he gives you what is the big frame for this campaign. Trump cares about himself, I care about you. And I wish and hope that Democratic ad makers really lean into that aggressively, using comedy also at times, and also using outrage. The reality is Donald Trump is a narcissistic sociopath, and he has this kind of reputation of caring about the forgotten man. He doesn't give a fuck about the forgotten man, okay? He didn't care if they lived or died during COVID. He didn't care if they lived or died when they stormed the Capitol on his behalf. Donald Trump does not actually care about people. He doesn't even like to shake their hands, okay? Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump. If Joe Biden can effectively prosecute the case that he cares more about people like you, he's got to improve his numbers with the kind of voters who are worried about that, who have concerns about inflation, concerns about the state of the economy, state of the world right now. If Joe Biden can make the case that he's trying to fix it, he's on the job, things are improving, things are moving in the right direction. Donald Trump wants to burn everything down, or Donald Trump just wants to, look at a painting of himself in the White House. I think that is probably the strongest contrast that is available to the president's campaign. And I like, lastly, just on this, they're going to talk about democracy. We're going to talk about democracy a lot on the Bulwark YouTube. There is a category of voter for whom that is just a little bit esoteric, and that is not going to be the deciding issue for some voters. And so I like how this opening 60-second ad kind of sets that over here for a minute. We're going to get to it, but I'm making the case to you on things that do matter to you: abortion rights, infrastructure, prescription drug costs, climate, economic recovery, knowing how to get things done. I think it's a really strong opening ad. I'm glad that the campaign led with it. And, we'll see how, the Trump campaign responds, if they have enough money to respond at this point, or if they choose to just let that go, and whether between, a big ad buy and a pretty well-reviewed State of the Union, whether we see any movement for Biden in the polls over the next few weeks. All right, we'll be back. We'll be here all week at the Bulwark. Make sure you have subscribed to our page. Tell your pals. We'll see you soon. Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus member. You get bonus podcasts, you get bonus newsletters, you get bonus takes from me that maybe don't come up on the YouTube feed. You can try it out for free at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is below in the description. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. We have great commenters and great opportunities for people who want to protect democracy.